On this episode of the Layover Live, Paul stops by to talk Google crawling bugs.
Oh, hey man, you got like a crazy bug on your computer.
I don't see anything.
Right there. Whole thing.
Oh, you mean this? Hello everyone and welcome to episode 77 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the Layover each week. I am still not Jason Swick. He is still on vacation. Well-deserved vacation though. But I'm filling in for him once again and joined by Director of Business Intelligence, Paul McLeod. So Paul, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. And normally when we have you on, there's something SEO related, and this case is no different, but really maybe more so on Google's side than the DMO side that we're normally looking at is this article coming from Search Engine Land talking about a recent Google crawling bug and new content not being indexed. So,
yeah.
For those who maybe not be familiar out there, what is Google's crawler and what exactly does it do?
Yeah. The trick, if you ever notice on Google's search engine results page, they like to put that little, we got all these results for you in 1300ths of a second or whatever. And the reason they can do that is because they've already actually crawled as much of the internet as they can. And I don't know if they still do it this way, but at one point I believe they stored 3 copies of it in their index so that they had it just ready to go. And not only do they crawl it, but then that's the process of sending a computer. A crawler is really just a computer without a person running it. It's executing a script looking for content over and over again. But then they have to parse it and index it. Namely, they actually break it down and they say like, okay, these are the words in here. So we'll associate them, basically if somebody searches for the word Stoltz.
It's a good word to search for.
Yeah, we've got to get that keyword volume up. If somebody searches for the word Stoltz, we know that this is the list of URLs that have the word Stoltz in them, basically. So they have to do that ahead of time so they can give you those results that fast.
Gotcha. And then so with this article and what they're talking about, sort of this error or this bug with it, what exactly is going on there and what happened with that?
Yeah, so this was about a week ago now. They had on consecutive days a couple of different indexing errors that they seem to have fixed. They were apparently minor, but it is always just weird and disturbing when something goes wrong with Google.
Yeah.
Especially something as basic as getting out there and crawling the content and putting it in the index. And so in the article they explain if you check for sites like they were using WSJ.com, Wall Street Journal as their example, that's pushing out content all the time, every hour something, lots of things go up on that site. And Google wants to crawl and index it as fast as possible because with that news content, they want to be there and be a good news resource for people. So if you checked, though, you couldn't find anything within the previous hour for either of those articles from WSJ.com. And so that was a good, you can use search tools to filter that way. So that was a good indication that something went wrong. Google suddenly lost the ability to discover new content and then put it in their index the way they normally do, which is a huge deal for them.
Yeah.
Even if it is like, oh, it was just for an hour, like I said, they want to be that news resource for people. So that really hurts their ability to do that if they start having major problems with that.
Gotcha. And when kind of looking at these errors, and which I think will hopefully be fixed by the time this airs. Not, we may have
they were fixed that day, I'm sure.
Okay.
Like Google, this is the kind of thing that Google is like going to get out the fire brigade on, I'm pretty sure, internally. Yeah.
Gotcha. So for the idea of Google crawling and making sure content's readily available, what exactly does this all mean for marketers, destinations? What exactly does that mean to them?
So, this particular thing is a thing that's going to come and go, and you hear about it, and people sort of like wig out, and I don't know. It's just like it's like hearing that the president did something weird. It's very upsetting sometimes. With Google's, just because Google seems like they should be able to do everything, but. The upshot for us is that we know that Google is fallible. We know that there are certain ways their crawlers can be fooled even when they're working properly, where they can fail to find the right content, or they can spend too much time crawling the wrong content, or not index your content properly and understand what's on it. So because Google is ultimately still a bunch of computers, there are people there, but you know what I mean.
It's actually all robots.
Yeah, exactly. Because their business operations with respect to getting our content out there are done with computers, they can be messed up sometimes. So it's really important to be up to date with all your technical SEO. Make sure you're working with a platform that is SEO friendly and everything, because you need to put yourself in the best possible light to get those rankings for your content.
Gotcha. Well, Paul, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I know this is kind of a crazy topic. People sometimes, like you said, get really bent out of shape when they hear Google's something happened with them. But the good news is, I think the takeaway is that nothing happened to anything that was indexed. The old content is totally fine.
Yeah, and they caught up and re-indexed everything, I'm sure, after they got it on there. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, Paul, thank you again. Really do appreciate it. Everyone, take care. We'll see you next time.
Cool.